Okay, so if you're planning a trip to Paris, one of the first things that you're probably thinking about is how you're going to stay connected while you're there. Whether it's navigating the metro, checking Google Maps, or grabbing a photo at the Eiffel Tower and sending it to family and friends. I mean, having data on your phone just makes everything so much easier. Besides that, roaming fees have gotten way too expensive. And trying to search for a local SIM card at the airport or at a local shop right when you land is just not worth the hassle. That's why so many travelers are switching to eSIMs these days. They're cheaper, more convenient, and way easier to set up before your trip. And the one I've personally been using on all of my recent travels is Saily. It's worked great for me in multiple countries. So, in this video, I'll walk you through the setup, the pricing, and the pros and cons, so you can decide if it's the right fit for your trip. That said, let's get right into it. Alright, so if you haven't heard of Saily before, it's basically a digital SIM card, or eSIM, that lets you connect to the internet when you're traveling abroad, without needing to buy a physical SIM or pay insane roaming fees. It's run by Nord Security, which is the same company behind NordVPN, so privacy and security are definitely part of the package. And what I like is that Saily works in over 200 countries, including France. When I first started using it about a year ago, they were only available in around 150, so it's come a long way since then. And recently they've added a few new features as well, like ad blocking, web protection, and even a virtual location option. So it's not just about staying connected anymore, it's also about keeping your browsing more private and secure. And the best part is that you can do everything right from the app. There are no lines, no tiny SIM cards, no hidden fees. You just download the app, pick your plan, and you're good to go. Okay, so if you've never used an eSIM before, don't worry, it's actually super easy, and that's one of the reasons I like Saily so much. First, just download the Saily app from the App Store or Google Play, or you can use their website if that's easier for you. And if you're planning to try it out for your trip, you can actually get 15% off with my discount code. Just enter GVU checkout, and once you're there, you'll see a bunch of plans depending on where you're going. For Paris, you'll want to select the plan listed under France. From there, the app walks you through the entire setup. You just follow the steps to install the eSIM, and it usually takes just a couple of minutes. One thing to keep in mind though, is that you do need an internet connection to activate it. So it's a good idea to install it before your flight and then activate it once you're about to land. Once it's active, your phone will connect to a local network as soon as you arrive. No kiosks, no SIM swaps, you just land and you're online. And if your phone supports 5G, you might even get those speeds depending on where you are in the city. Plus, you can track your data usage right inside the app, and topping up only takes a few taps. That being said, when it comes to pricing for Paris, it's actually the same as the general Saily plans for all of France, so you don't have to look for anything Paris specific. Whether you're staying in the city or traveling around the country, the prices stay the same. Now, if you're only going to be in France for a few days and just need data for simple things, like checking maps, sending a few messages, or doing quick searches, there's a 1 GB plan that lasts for 7 days for just under $4. If you're staying a little longer, you've got the 3 GB plan for about $9, or the 5 GB plan for around $12. Both of those last for 30 days, which is perfect if you don't want to worry about it expiring too fast. Now, if you think you'll be streaming, posting a lot on social media, or just using your phone more in general, there is a 10 GB plan for about $20 and a 20 GB option for around $32, also valid for 30 days. But if you don't want to stress about data at all, they've got an unlimited plan for just under $50. It lasts for 15 days and gives you a bunch of high-speed data every day. And once that runs out, your speed just slows down a bit, but you still stay connected, which is what really matters. And if you're planning to visit other countries while you're in Europe, Saily also has regional plans that let you stay connected across multiple countries with just one plan. It's super convenient if you're traveling from Paris to Rome, Amsterdam, or anywhere else nearby. And like I mentioned earlier, if you want to try it out, don't forget to use my discount code GVU checkout when you download the Saily app or head on over to their website. It'll get you 15% off, which definitely helps. Okay, so now let's talk about some of the pros and cons, just so you know what to expect before using Saily in Paris. One of the first things that stood out to me is how much Saily focuses on privacy. A lot of eSIM providers just give you data and that's it. but Saily adds some really useful extras like an ad blocker that helps save data, plus web protection that blocks shady websites and malware. That's especially helpful when you're using public Wi-Fi at cafes, hotels, or even airports around Paris. They also include a virtual location feature that hides your real location, which adds another layer of privacy while browsing abroad. So it's not just about staying connected, it's also about staying protected, which I definitely appreciate. I also like how the app tracks your data in real time. I got a notification when I used up around 80% of my plan, so I wasn't caught off guard. And topping up is super easy, just a couple of taps in the app. There's no weird steps or delays. And even if you've never used an eSIM before, it's really beginner friendly. You don't have to mess with SIM trays or worry about losing your original SIM while traveling. Everything stays on your phone. And of course, the part that really matters is how it actually performs while using it. So I've tried it in a few different countries, and the connection has always been fast and reliable. In Paris, I had no trouble streaming, using Google Maps, posting on social media, or texting family and friends. And I didn't have to depend on slow hotel Wi-Fi, which was a big win. Another thing I love is if you're planning to visit other cities in France or even take a quick train to Rome or Amsterdam, you can grab one of Saily's regional plans. It works across multiple countries without having to switch plans or set up a new eSIM. And the pricing is one of the most affordable travel data options I've seen. Definitely cheaper than roaming, and there's no surprise fees. What you see is what you pay. And I think that peace of mind makes a huge difference when you're abroad. But of course, no service is perfect. For example, Saily is a data-only eSIM, which means it doesn't support traditional phone calls or SMS texting. So if you need to make calls or send messages, you'll have to use apps like WhatsApp, FaceTime, Telegram, or any other internet-based service. But let's be real, that's how most of us communicate anyway, so for most people, this isn't really a big deal. Also, before you buy a plan, it's a good idea to check if your phone supports eSIM. Most newer smartphones do, but just in case, Saily offers a refund if it turns out your device isn't compatible. Alright, so if you're heading to Paris and just want a simple, stress-free way to stay connected, I think Saily is a great option. I've used it on a bunch of trips this past year, and it's always been reliable. The setup only takes a few minutes, the app is super easy to use, and I love that I don't have to mess with physical SIM cards or scramble for Wi-Fi the second that I land. Plus, those extra features like the ad blocker, web protection, and even the virtual location actually came in handy, especially when I was using public Wi-Fi at airports or hotels. So if you're thinking of trying Saily out, don't forget that you can use my code GVUTech to get 15% off. Just type it in when you download the Saily app or visit their website. And of course, if you've got any questions about how it works or want to know more, feel free to drop a comment. I'm always happy to help. And if you end up using it, let me know how it went for you. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have the best time in Paris. Have a great trip.